Overstimulation from 4-HOMIPT. I took 28 milligrams of 4-HOMIPT to try it for my first time. It's not my first psychedelic by far. Among the psychedelics I have used in the past are LSD, 2CB, 2CB-fly, DMT, psilocybin, 4-ACO-DMT, 4-HO-MET, 5-MeO-MIPT. But 4-HOMIPT really surprised me with its effects. I weighed out 28 milligrams and filled the powder into a gelatin capsule. For this trip I was home alone and had planned to work through some personal issues. Fruit, snacks, and water were prepared as well. After about 20 minutes I noticed the first effects. The psychedelic cum-UP had begun. However, there were no visual effects. Only a strong body load. My muscles were tense and I became a bit restless. This was the start of a strong stimulation I felt throughout the trip. It took me almost 2 hours to fully come up. During the cum-UP I was restless and uneasy, and the calm clarity I get from other psychedelics never materialized. During the cum-UP I was restless and uneasy, and the calm clarity I get from other psychedelics never materialized. Visuals increased and my thoughts accelerated. To become more at ease with the body load I tried yoga and stretching. But it didn't help much. Usually this works really well to connect body and mind. Not in this case. So I spent the next hour in bed listening to music while my whole body was twitching. Twitching in physical ecstasy can be great on psychedelics. But on 4-HOMIPT my mind had a hard time to relax and let it happen. Finding the right music to vibe with turned out to be also difficult. At this point I regretted having taken this substance instead of something else. I was just not having a good time. After about 3 hours I finally managed to select the right playlist. My muscles were still twitching and was experiencing strong stimulation. Visuals were still weak, but present. But close-eye visuals were disappointingly weak compared to other 4-sub-tryptamines. Nevertheless, I finally melted into the music, which was absolutely beautiful. In the dark in my bed, my body twitching and Pink Floyd's Dogs playing was certainly a first highlight of this trip. After a while I could get up again, but it was very hard to stay still. My body just started dancing, which was also enjoyable. The stimulation was still strong and uncomfortable though, so I decided to vape some weed and see if that would alleviate the stimulation, increase the visuals and mind trip. This proved to be successful. I also ate some fruit, which was alright, but not the magical experience it has been on other psychedelics. In combination with the weed I was finally able to feel some of the universal unity I like from psychedelics. Working through some of the issues in my life was also possible, but not as well or deep as I had hoped. The last 3 hours of the trip were spent with more weed and watching the last 3 episodes of Season 3 of The Expanse. Visuals were still strong and made it worthwhile. The mind trip was weak and weird, while the stimulation persisted for a time, but was no longer as uncomfortable as in the beginning. Overall, I would say that the body load and strong stimulation really took me by surprise. I think the next time I would decrease the dose and use it for going to a rave, where the stimulation could come in handy for dancing. 4-HOMIPT might also have potential when mixed with another tryptamine as well. Overall, I have to say that it's my least favorite tryptamine so far.